Retro Dolls. So before I get into the topic of this video, let me just address what's going on around here. Yes, I am at my new place. I tried to do like a gallery wall kind of look and I got a little out of hand, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to kind of condense the crazy in the back. Also, it might be a little bit echoey and I'm living with some of my family, so you might hear them. Hopefully you guys like the new background. I'm gonna have a lot of different places where I'm gonna be filming, but this is like the first you guys get to see this little nook. Let me know what you guys think of it. There will be a room tour coming soon, so just keep an eye out for that. Anyways, let's get into it. So as you can tell by the topic of this, or the title of this video, the topic is going to be a bit more serious than I ever really do. I don't even really know how to get into this video just because this is a topic that I tend to stray away from. But about a month ago when I was in New York for KirbyCon, this company called BetterHelp contacted me and wanted to know if I wanted to partner with them in working on this video to kind of speak on mental health and depression and anxiety and stuff like that, because as you guys may or may not know, October is Mental Health Awareness Month, along with breast cancer awareness, but I think it was October 10th was Mental Health Awareness Day. And I told them, of course, I would love to do this video. I was supposed to do it a long time ago, actually. I was supposed to have it up by the 10th, but they have been really understanding, and you guys have been really understanding with me moving and stuff like that. It's been kind of hard for me to put out videos, and along with moving has come my own depression and anxiety and stress, and I've kind of been trying to keep it under wraps. You guys saw a little glimpse of it in my earlier videos where it's like waking up in a panic attack and stuff like that, because for the most part I feel like this video is gonna be very scattered because I don't even know where to go with this, and it's hard for me to even make eye contact with this camera because, like I said before, things like this, depression and anxiety and stuff like that, I try to keep it under wraps. I kind of try and like deal with it on my own, and then once I'm over it, then I can talk to somebody about it, but even then I still feel a little bit weird about it. So basically this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but it is a huge necessity that I talk about these things because I don't want any of you to feel like you're alone, and I don't want you guys to get the misconception that I'm over here living my best life and I have like this perfect everything and that my world is just amazing and there's no problems, because that's far from the truth. And it's important that I share that. I want to thank BetterHelp for contacting me and partnering with me to work on this video. They're a great resource for those of you who need help, who need somebody to talk to, somewhere to like just reach out and communicate with somebody that you need help. So if you feel like you need an outlet to discuss any depression, anxiety, or any mental health struggle that you're dealing with, please go check their link down below in the description. Let's just get into it with my nonsense. So I'm gonna backtrack quite a bit into my life, my struggles, what I feel like created my anxiety and depression and my issues. First off, my mom and my dad were very different people. My dad's family was the type that like thought their shit don't stink, and that my mom's family was white trash, and that was there was a lot of difficulty trying to maintain balance on both sides. So I felt like even like early on in my life, like preschool ages, I was dealing with anxiety because even when it came to like what preschool I was gonna go to, my dad's side of the family was Jewish, my mom's side of the family was Christian. So it was like, if I go to a Christian preschool, then I'm letting down my dad's side of the family. If I go to a Jewish preschool, then, you know, so I felt anxiety like straight off the bat. And then like when I was 2, my papa, so my dad's dad, passed away when I was 6. My bubby, which is my dad's mom, passed away, and when I was 9, my dad passed away. And all of that created such a deep feeling of abandonment and I had anxiety based off abandonment, and that explains a lot of the relationships that I stayed in my life, because I would put up with absolutely everything just so that the person wouldn't leave me, which explains like so much of the choices that I made growing up. I have always been overweight. My dad's family would tell me things like, don't grow up to be the fat lady in the circus. And it was always like a focus on your weight. And I always felt like food was an outlet, like kind of my rebellion back, like to say like, fuck you for trying to control me in yet another way. And I feel like I've never gone to counseling. I've never talked to somebody, which I definitely should, because I've just been self-analyzing for my entire life, and I've just dealt with so much, and I never valued myself enough to be the person that I needed to be. I didn't think that I was worth it. I had an older brother that was also going through his own struggles that I didn't realize at the time, but he was like lashing out at me because of his own issues. But I just felt like he's such a jerk, and he's so mean to me, and he would tell me nobody would love me and all of these things. And it, like, when your whole life you're told that you're not good enough, or that nobody's gonna love you, or that you're gonna be that fat lady in the circus, or just all of these really demeaning things, you start to believe it. And then those people that you confide in and love and make this connection with die or leave in some way, you totally lose your sense of self and self-esteem and strength. And so because of that, I let a lot of people in my life and held on to a lot of people in my life that I shouldn't have. And an example of that is my first serious relationship that I was in, which I have a whole like 30-minute long video on that relationship. So if you want to watch that, it's really old. I filmed it on my laptop like years ago. If you want to check that out, you can click the link up here and then down in the description. But I'll kind of do little cliff notes on that. So my first serious relationship was a really abusive one on a lot of levels, mostly emotional and mental, with physical sprinkled in every once in a while. It just really fucked me up, because that relationship was from the ages of 16 to 19, and those are some really important years. And it was just chock full of cheating and depression and just tears and hurt and betrayal and lies and just self-doubt. After that relationship, well, first of all, how it ended was he ended up breaking up with me for a 14-year-old, and at this time he was 18 and I was 19. So that already like made me feel even more like shit, because he fucking left me for a child, basically. Which, looking back, it says a lot about him and not about me, but at the time it was just like, what a slap in the face. That created some real insecurities in me too. And then like 6 months after that, I started dating this guy, and he was actually like fresh out of jail and he had addiction issues. And by the way that my dad died was because of years of drug abuse. My dad was an alcoholic and a heroin addict. So I feel like that second relationship that I'm about to talk about was very much like me and my daddy issues trying to find my dad, you know, because this guy, although a really nice guy, was a drug addict. And thank God by the time that I got with him, he wasn't into like the hard drugs anymore. But still, it was like dealing with him going in and out of jail, dealing with him and trying to like help him not fall back into his alcoholism, and then me not being secure in myself enough to be like, this isn't okay. I was just drowning in everybody else's problems and not addressing my own. And I don't know. I really wish that when I was growing up, I had the opportunity to talk to a therapist, to just talk to someone who was unbiased, that could just listen to me. I didn't need a resolve from any of this. I didn't need somebody to tell me what to do. I just needed somebody to listen, because I wasn't telling anybody that I was in an abusive relationship when I was. And I wasn't telling anybody that I wasn't taking care of myself because I was concerned about my alcoholic boyfriend, even though that was the reality. Even up until like last month, I was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks and depression about my brother and his family moving, because that meant that my nephew was going to be gone at least 3 years. It's possible that it could be longer than that. It could be forever. I have no idea. During all of that, I didn't really talk to anybody about it. Like, I would touch on it and then like move on, because I knew that it would be bad. And like, you know, when you're going through your own shit and you don't tell anybody because you're like, I can clearly see that that person has enough on their plate. They don't need to deal with my stress, and I don't want to trigger their depression. You just keep it under wraps. And that's pretty much my MO, is to just shut my mouth and not talk about it and just get through it until you're through it. And even the other day, I was talking to my best friend who lives about like 6 hours away from me, and she was asking me how I've been and how the move is. And I was telling her, you know, I'm feeling a lot better now and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, what do you mean you're feeling better now? Like, what? Were you not feeling better before? What's going on? And it was kind of just another reminder of the fact that I have a really great support system, and I have people that are willing to listen to me and to help me, but I lock it up. I don't talk about it. It just really fucking sucks, because people feel like, or people think that depression and anxiety aren't a big deal. Oh, just get over it, whatever. But the reality is, like, it's crippling. I didn't choose to wake up in panic attacks. I don't choose to hyperventilate when I'm driving to places I'm unfamiliar with, but that's what happens to me. I try to work through it, and I feel like really proud of myself for how far I've come, considering all of the shit that I've been through. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about it, because I want you to know that you're not alone. And also, in a selfish way, this is kind of my attempt at therapy. So I came across a bunch of old videos, and if you guys follow me on like Instagram or Snapchat, then you might remember this, but I came across a bunch of old videos of me at like 16, 17. It included my ex-boyfriend, the one that was abusive, and I just felt like just absolute shit, like physically sick watching it, because there was like, fuck man. Okay, so there was this one video that, it's gonna sound real stupid, but my ex-boyfriend used to do backyard wrestling, and there was this one like behind the scenes video. There's this part where like I'm the camera person, so I'm the one filming. And there's this part where I'm like filming my boyfriend at the time, and he makes some fucking flirty joke to my best friend. And then later on, like, you see him like adjusting his pants, and I just instantly reverted back into that depressed, anxious, insecure, feeling less than little 16-year-old girl who compares herself to others and feels like shit because she's literally watching her significant other hit on other women. And I knew, like, this is gonna sound gross, but I knew that when he was adjusting his pants, it was because he got turned on. And I just felt like absolute shit. And I hated that feeling. And I kind of was reflecting on it a little bit, and I kind of realized that the reason that I started this channel is to hopefully be that person that I wish I had when I was 16. YouTube wasn't a thing when I needed it to be, you know? YouTube wasn't a thing at all. Like MySpace was barely a thing. I wish that when I was growing up and feeling really insecure and less than and gross and fat and just unattractive, I wish that I had someone out there who looked like me or had the same struggles as me to tell me that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to have these issues. As long as you work on them, it'll be okay. Like, it doesn't matter what these people say. It doesn't matter. And in the long run, these people don't matter. I wish I had somebody to tell me that. But the reality is that I didn't. And so I feel like I created this channel subconsciously because I didn't even think about it. When I started this channel, it was just because I was alone in an unfamiliar town and I wanted to make friends. But really looking back at the content that I create and everything, it's to inspire that insecure girl to love herself and to stand up for herself so that she won't make the same mistakes that I did. And I feel like one of the mistakes that I made was not talking about it when I should have, because it wouldn't have taken me 20 plus years to figure it out. So I feel like I've been rambling on for long enough. I hope that I could help you guys in some way. And if you feel like you can relate to any of the things that I said in this video, any of the struggles, or if you have any need or want or desire to just talk to somebody, then please go check out BetterHelp. A link will be down in the description below. Also, feel free to message me. You can always message me on Instagram at JessieRetro, or Facebook if you have a lot to say. All of my social media links are going to be down in the description below. But I think that's it for now. And I just want you to really listen to the words that I say on all of my videos. And that is, if they ain't paying your bills, pay them no mind. Check you later. Love you guys.